Welcome back to the Solid Sports and Gaming channel. I'm Troy West here with you once again. Got episode 125 of the Solid Sports video blog today, as we are focused on the Major League Baseball start of the season. It starts this Thursday, July 23rd. So this is our Major League Baseball preview special. Crazy seasons, only 60 games, but I'll try to give you all my predictions. Who I think will win all the divisions, who I think will make the playoffs, Cy Young winner, and MVP. I'll do all those predictions today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for joining me the other day on Thursday as we looked at the AFC North. More NFL preview specials coming. This Thursday we'll stay in the AFC. We go to the AFC East. So we'll look at the Patriots, the Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills, and the New York Jets. We'll look at those four teams and dive deeper into that division. Since Thursday, not much going on in the world of sports, just waiting for things to start. A little scary, more players in both the NBA and Major League Baseball tested positive for COVID-19. But right now, both leagues are pushing through it and want to try to start their seasons. Of course, we'll do basketball next Saturday. Join me next Saturday as we next Saturday we can do it. So either next Friday or Saturday. I probably do it on Friday. NBA preview. Do the work around my work schedule. So I might do that actually on a Friday. And do the AFC East preview next Thursday. So check out those two videos coming up. And if you missed any of my other division previews, I did the AFC North and AFC and NFC North. I did and both the South so far. So I did both of the North and both AFC and NFC and South. So 4 videos. The last 4 episodes. So check those out. But we're gonna focus on baseball today. We're gonna start the National League. Like I said, it's a weird season. It's 60 games. It's 8 teams make the playoffs, so it's gonna be a wild season. But I'm excited about it. So I'm gonna go division by division, just give a brief description of each team. I start from the bottom of the division, who I think will win the division last, and then I'll give you my 8 playoff teams in the National League, and then I'm gonna give you my Cy Young and MVP winner, which I think will win the MVP. So let's start in the NL East. NL East, very competitive division. The Atlanta Braves, of course, my childhood team. Expected to do well this year, but they got some bumps in the road. They tried to sign Yashiel Puig. He tested positive for COVID-19, so now he's off the roster. Some players are not playing. Nick Markakis not going to play. Freddie Freeman's still out with the virus. I think he's expected to come back and try to play though. They picked up Felix Hernandez. Started pitching in the offseason. He backed out because of the virus. He'd rather stay home. So Braves got a couple of holes, but I still think they're the team to be in this division. But we're going to start at the bottom. The Miami Marlins. I think they finished last of the division. Just an organization probably years away from building back up. Derek Jeter took over a few years ago. Well, not the joke, but you know they ain't gonna play with no fans in the stands. But the Marlins was used to that, so that actually might be an advantage, you know, for them. They used to, fans stop coming to the games anyway, so so it ain't gonna be that much different for them when they play. But you know, just like any other baseball team, they got young talent. I guess they gonna just use this season. But you can't be surprised by that. I won't go be surprised by anything this year. It's only 60 games. You get off to a high start, you could hold on and make the playoffs, because more than half of your league gets in this year. So, Marlins fans, if they any out there, don't just scrap the season until your team is officially out. I think everybody has a shot here. So, but I don't think they're gonna do too well. They just void of talent. So I forgot the Marlins finishing last. I got 4th, the New York Mets. Now, the Mets is a tricky team. They got the pitcher with Jacob DeGrom and led by Jacob DeGrom. They got the starting pitchers. The polar bear was they call the polar bear Pete Alonso. I like him. I like how he showed up on the scene last year, so maybe he'll have a monster year for the Mets. But yeah, it's gonna be see if they can score. If the Mets can score, they could probably compete with anyone. And like I just said about the Marlins, the Mets are gonna be right there. Well, actually, I got the Mets making it barely. You know, we'll get into the playoff teams when we get there. But I got the Mets actually pretty much almost this whole division making it. Other than the Marlins, I got the whole East in the playoffs since it's 8 teams. But so then you get in the playoffs, you never know, in baseball. So we'll see. But I got the Mets finishing 4th. But yeah, they started pitchers probably was going to carry them throughout the season. The Philadelphia Phillies, very interesting team. Started pitching is a little shaky, but they got the lineup with Bryce Harper. Andrew McCutchen is now there, so got some veterans to mix it up on the team. Relamuto, the catcher, so they got a nice little deep team. I think with the short season, I think they'll make some noise. I think they finished 3rd in the East. I got the Nationals finishing 2nd. Of course, with Strasburg and Serge, I think they'll carry them throughout the season. Juan Soto, maybe SBS coming out party. They lost Anthony Rendon. I think that's a big loss. So we'll see how that affects the lineup. Ryan Zimmerman, another one, player that's decided to stay home. He's not going to play this year. So Nationals got some holes on offense, but probably got the best started pitching in baseball. So I think that would help, and I think they finished 2nd. And I got my Braves finishing 1st. Like I said, a lot of controversy around the Braves right now with the virus, players not playing. But Ronald Acuna Jr., I love him. Hopefully we get Freddie Freeman back. Of course, now with the Redskins having to change their name, the NFL Washington Redskins. The Braves name is got a Native American background, so that might be changing soon. They're going to probably get rid of the tomahawk celebration that they do at the games. Now, I grew up with that as a Brave fan, so but it's a new world. Days are changing, so I'm not upset if they get rid of the tomahawk chop or the name. Even though they already said they're not going to change the name, but that don't mean anything. If they get enough heat, somebody push enough heat to them, they'll change that name, just like the Washington Redskins had to do. So as of now, they're not going to change the name. Maybe they get through this year, but I think if somebody put some heat on them or take some money away, you won't have no choice. And I think that's what happened with Washington. They ain't had no choice but to change the name because the owner didn't really want to do it. And that's going to be a shit. We'll talk more about that though as we get through the football season. But yeah, I got the Braves finishing 1st, and hopefully they can make some noise this year in the postseason. I've been a Braves fan for over almost 30 years, so, and we were successful in the 90s, but only one World Series to show for it. It was against the Cleveland Indians, a team that's probably, some people say it's cursed, but even the Florida Marlins, talk about the Marlins, well, they was the Florida Marlins, then the Miami Marlins, they won 2 titles, even though it's been a while, but they got 2 titles to our 1 since the 90s, so I think it's a year the Braves could make some noise. I hope we get Freddie. I hope Freddie Freeman decides to play. We're gonna miss Nick Markey. We're gonna miss a couple of guys. Yashel Puig, I think he would have helped. He's a little nutty, but he could play. So we'll see if we can stabilize the lineup. Starting pitching is also an issue, but I think they got enough talent to win this division. All right, let's move on. Let's do the Central next, the NL Central. Pittsburgh Pirates. This division is highly competitive as well. You got the Cardinals, the Cubs, the Milwaukee Brewers have been in contention. I actually picked them to go to the World Series last year. Cincinnati Reds have talent, starting to come up with talent. So this is a tough division. Pittsburgh even has some talent, young talent as well. But I still think compared to the other teams. I think they just a little bit short. I think this division probably going to be one of the most competitive, and not just in the National League, in the baseball period. But I got them finish at 5th. I got Cincinnati finish at 4th. Of course, with Joey Votto and other young talent that's coming up through the organization. The Reds, some experts said it could be a surprise during this short season. We'll see, but I got them finish at 4th. I got the Brewers finish at 3rd. Christian Yelich is healthy. I just forgot about that. So I was like, dang, should I put him over the other two teams in front of him? But I think I feel good with them at 3rd. I think they'd probably be a playoff team, though. But they, like I said, they pitching is they issue. But with Yelich, Ryan Braun, Eric Dames, that lineup, middle of that lineup, they're gonna be tough to beat. But can they start a pitcher just do just enough to get them by? St. Louis Cardinals, just like the Spurs in basketball, just like the Patriots in football, even though the Cardinals only won one World Series in the last 20 years, but they've been consistent. To me, they're the most consistent team in baseball in the last 20-30 years, to me, in my opinion. They always in contention of, for a playoff spot or for the division or even for a World Series. And I think that don't change. I think Yali Molina is back. And that young group in St. Louis, Paul Goldschmidt, got a year under his belt. He's underrated. I think he'll have a monster short year. And I see the Cardinals putting a stat, maybe even winning this division. But I'm going to go with the Cubs, though, to win the Central. I think some of that pressure is off that World Series I think it did them bad. I think when they won, a lot of people just put a lot of expectations on them. But now I think they sort of fly on, I want to say fly on the radar, but they sort of been forgotten here. Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, they ready to go. Yu Darvish, they say he looks good. So I think the Cubs will come out the Central and win that division. Alright, let's go out west. The Colorado Rockies got them finishing last. Rockies is one of those teams, man. Like I put a lot of faith in that team too. I thought it was their time to take this division over, but obviously that wasn't the case. A lot of players on their team backed out. So just the vibe from the outside looking at it, like they not really, and I don't blame them. I think they trying to take precautions. I think they ain't gonna take this season too seriously, and I think that's gonna hurt them overall. So I got them finish at 5th. San Francisco Giants. I've heard a lot of good things about the Giants over the last couple of days. I've been trying to listen to podcasts and do a lot of research before I did these predictions. So, like I said, but it's a short season, so who knows what's going to happen. But the Buster Posey poured out, so that made me feel good about this prediction. Buster Posey is pretty much the heart and soul of that team to me. He's not going to play because he want to stay home. He's about to have a child, or I think they adopted a child, or so basically it's a child involved at home, and he want to stay home with his family, which is completely understandable during the circumstances. But I think they're going to miss him a lot. But I heard they got young talented team there. So maybe they're a surprise to people, but for now I got them finishing 4th. I got the San Diego Padres finishing 3rd in the division. Young talent, Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, maybe he be used to San Diego by now. Always had a decent pitcher staff, so I think the Padres in this short season could make some noise here. The Arizona Cardinals, I got them finishing 2nd. Get Madison Bumgarner in the offseason, so they pitching with him with Zach Greinke. I think that's going to be a good duo there in the starting pitcher spot. Lineup pretty decent from top to bottom, So I think they finished 2nd, and the Dodgers, of course, finished 1st. Probably one of the best teams in baseball, talent all around. But even though they had some players pull out, David Price, started pitcher, just got there in the offseason. He's not going to play. He's going to stay home because of coronavirus. He decided to not play. A couple of other players, I think, on the team staying home. So, but the Dodgers still talented from top to bottom. Still got Clayton Kershaw there. So I think it'll be enough to easily win the West. I think they're clearly the best team in the National League, period, even with the some of the players not coming to play. Alright, so we went through every division. Let's go through the teams I think can make the playoffs. I start from the bottom as well. I think the Mets will get that last 8 spot. I think that, like I said, I think they started pitcher will be enough to make them get in there. I got Arizona getting in at the 7th spot. Got Milwaukee 6th, St. Louis 5th, Washington 4th. And I think now I have to check this. I should have checked it before I came on. I think the 3 top division winners will still get the 3 top seeds. I'm guessing I don't think they just going to scrap that. I mean, the division's got to mean something. So I think this top 3 seeds. So I got the Cubs winning the Central, so they 3rd. I got Atlanta finishing 2nd in the National League and winning the East, and I got the Dodgers finishing 1st, winning the West. So that means, yeah, the first round matchup, Dodgers Mets, that could be interesting. Like I said, with the Mets started pitching, can neutralize that Dodgers lineup. So I don't think they want that. Just to look ahead. But this is going to be a crazy season. Like I said, it might be a team that I ain't really spent too much time on that might even can break through and win the whole thing. So like I said, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not going to be too shocked about what happened this season. So so that's my playoff teams. Now Cy Young and MVP. National League is tough. It's a lot deep, real deep. You know what? MVP, I'm gonna go with Cody Bellinger of the Dodgers, because I think the Dodgers gonna dominate. And then the one thing I didn't mention, that you really pretty much only play your division, and then you play interleague the other West. So like the Dodgers will play just their division, and then the American League West. So that's the Angels, which is what was the Angels and the Houston Astros. I think they're the only 2 teams in the way. And Oakland is, so yeah, the West is pretty deep. But you play those teams in your division, so I think the Dodgers probably wind up having the best record in all of baseball. Even though the Yankees might be a little bit more talented, but I think the Yankees got a better, tougher schedule. So I think the Dodgers might wind up having the best record in baseball, period. So I'll go with Cody Bellinger, play for the Dodgers, outfielder for the Dodgers, to win the NL MVP. And then Cy Young, you know what? I'm gonna go with Steven Strasburg of the Washington Nationals. I think, like I said, I think some players, once you win, you just get that weight off your shoulders. I think he has some pressure on him. I think that pressure's gone. I think he's gonna have a monster year on the mound. Him and Scherzer. I like Max Scherzer. To me, Max Scherzer is the best pitcher in baseball. I say that all the time. Over Kershaw, over Madison Bumgarner, or anybody else. Over Garrett Cole. You know Garrett Cole in New York. If he do what he did in Houston, he could get in the argument. But I'd take Max Scherzer right now if I wanted to win a baseball game to start for me on the mound. But Justin Verlander still, even though he's a veteran, like you got a lot of good pitchers out there, but I would take Max Scherzer over all of them right now. But I think Strasburg got that pressure off his shoulders. I think he have a monster year in this short season. I think the Nationals, like I said, for some people thinking they might struggle because of their offense, but I think he's gonna have a monster year. So I got him with a side. So I got Cody Bellinger for MVP, and I got Strasburg for the Nationals for Cy Young. Alright, so let's move on to the American League. American League is gonna be crazy over in this league too. You know what? Let's start out west. Let's start the West first, because I think the West is pretty much 3 teams. I think Seattle and Texas. Just don't believe in them too much. And I got Seattle finishing last. I got Texas finishing 4th. I got Oakland in that 3rd spot in the American League West. And Oakland, you know, I guess the year before they were surprised. Last year, sort of struggled, and then they came back strong and made the playoffs. So I'm not gonna write the Oakland A's off. Chris Davis, Mr. 248, because he hit 248 I think 2-3 years in a row, which is some weird stat. But he knocks it out the park. So they're interesting thing to look at. The Houston Astros, I got them finish second this year. When before the pandemic got bad and all that, and I was talking about baseball. I thought they was going to struggle. I wouldn't be surprised they finished third. I think them and Oakland going to fight for that third spot. I got the Angels for the first, obviously. I think with Rendon and Pujols and Mike Trout, I think that's just too much. I think the Angels, I mean, this got it. And then they got Joe Madden. I believe in Joe Madden as a manager. I think he's going to put them on top, put them over the top finally. Because I think with Mike Scioscia, they sort of been underachieving since they won the World Series in 2002. The Angels been an underachieving team under Mike Scioscia. But I think with Joe Madden, I think he's underrated as a manager, even though he won one. He won everywhere he's going, he's turning around. Tampa Bay won the World Series for the Cubs. The Cubs, they haven't won it in 100 years. I think he's going to turn the Angels around. So I think they win this division. But what I was about to say about Houston, with the cheater scandal, you know, all that's sort of been quiet because of the pandemic and other things going on in the world. So people ain't been talking about that as much. And I thought they was going to struggle because I thought, you know, they go on the road, fans was going to boo. But now that pressure's off of them, so they might step back. I mean, they're too talented not to do anything. You still got Alex Bregman. A lot of people think he might win the MVP. Jose Altuve. I love Jose Altuve. A little short second baseman. They're just too talented. So now with no fans, I think they might be loose and might got something to prove. So that could, you know, this is gonna be tough. It's gonna be between them and the Angels for sure. I think Oakland is just a little bit behind, but Houston is to me is a, well, I want to say a dark horse, but now that there's no fans, and I think now they can focus in and be focused and prove people that the cheating wasn't really that much of a big deal. And I think the Houston could have a monster year again, but I'm gonna go with the Angels though, because I just like the talent. And I believe in Joe Madden as well. Let's go Central then next. Detroit Tigers. I mean, I want to say it'd be a miracle, but I don't see them doing too much of nothing this year. The Kansas City Royals either. Those two teams I pretty much write off right now. But like I said, with the short 60 games, you just never know. You just never know, you know, maybe they could do something this year. This would be the year for a bottom feeder to do something. And obviously I can't name any other players right now. I mean, Kansas City still got some guys left from the World Series team, but Detroit, you know, he barely recognized anybody there. So the Chicago White Sox, I got finished in third. Like I said, Jose Abreu, I think he gonna have a monster year. But Cope, I think his name is Kopler. One of their starting pitchers. He backed out like a couple of days ago. He's not gonna play, citing the virus. So that's a big loss. But the White Sox could be a team, like I said, could be surprised. So look out for them. Cleveland Indians. I mean, they too, like I said, they're too talented, but I'm just irritated with them because, like I said, just like what other team I was talking about that just keep on getting there. Well, my Braves just won. I'm talking about over 20 years there, but the last few years the Indians have been right there. They made the World Series. They couldn't get it done. Francisco de Lindor, I like him. So we'll see what goes on with the Indians, but definitely capable of making a run. But and with this short season, like I said, maybe not as much pressure. Maybe this will be the year they do it. But they've been disappointed the last few years. And I got Minnesota winning the division though. Got Johnstown. They just got a monster lineup. Miguel Sano. Just deep lineup, man. Like it's gonna be hard to pitch against those guys. Now they pitching is so, and maybe that's what brings them back to the pack. I think Cleveland will challenge them for the division. I'm gonna go with Minnesota. and I think they will be a factor. And then they got the two weaker teams at the bottom, so I think they could have good records as well. Let's go to the East, man. The American League East. Probably to be the best division in baseball. I'm from Baltimore. Before I say this, I am an Orioles fan as well. But even though, like I said, I was a Braves fan first, but I became an Orioles fan maybe a year or so after. But I don't, like I said, some people made it a case. Well, some local people. Well, I don't know a lot of baseball fans, but only talk to my residents here. They're a little optimistic. Like I said, anybody can be optimistic in the beginning, especially this year. Like I said, 60 games is not a lot of games, so you could be probably, like I said, to fall into the playoffs, you know, this year because it's 8 teams. But I just don't see it with the Orioles. A couple of people had the virus, and I just don't see it. No pitching has always been a problem for 30 years, 40 years. Back to the freaking 70s. So, no started pitching. You know, could score a bit here and there, but just good to see them back on the field, but I don't see them doing too much of nothing this year. The Boston Red Sox. Like I said, made that big trade, traded Mookie Betts away, but still got JD Martinez, Chris Sale. Let's see, can he bounce back this year? But I just think, Boston, I don't know, I just got a feeling they're going to start off slow. And I think only got them finishing 4th. I got the Toronto Blue Jays finishing 3rd. That might be a little bit of a surprise to some people. But I like the young talent they got. They got basically all the sons. Craig Biggio's son plays for them. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. plays for them. Like, a lot of young talent. Pitching, I don't know about they pitch. I think they pitching this so-so. And then they got something hanging over their head. They might can't even play at home. They might have to play somewhere else because Canada has real strict quarantine rules. Basically, they don't want nobody from another country coming in. And if you do, you got to quarantine for 14 days. So that's a problem for a baseball team or any team. You're only there for 3 days, and then you move on to the next town. So that's the issue they're still working out. Probably hear something today because the season starts this week. So I know they said maybe the Buffalo location, which is one of their AAA teams, play there. They might play there. Then that's not far from Toronto. But like I said, ain't gonna be no fans in the stands anyway. So hopefully they figure something out. So that could be an issue, but I still think the young talent on this team have propelled them, at least for this year, to finish 3rd of the division. I got Tampa Bay finishing 2nd. The Rays just won't go away, man. Like, I was just talking about Joe Madden. Joe Madden left. I was like, well, you know, Evan Longoria left. Like, all they big guys like the Crawfords, Carl Crawford. Oh, well, Carl Crawford is that was years ago. And Carl Crawford, it's like he's a daggone agent, music agent now. Like, I didn't know that till a friend of mine, we watched these videos, like gossip videos, and he him and Megan Thee Stallion had a beef, and I was like, he's a manager. I had no idea. But think about the Upton. That's what I was thinking about. But Carl Crawford popping them out. I was thinking about the Upton brothers. You know, they had some good teams there. They made the World Series. What was that? 2007, 2008. They lost to the I think it was the Philadelphia Phillies. I think it was the 08. They got there, lost to the Philadelphia Phillies. Blake Snell, I don't even know, is he playing? I gotta check that because he was avid a bit when the players, you know, was talking about their salaries and stuff. They finally worked out a deal, but he was basically adamant about he wanted his full salary or he wasn't gonna play. So I'm not even sure if he's playing, but I still just think, you know, not just Snell, but they got, you know, talented young pitching, talented young team. So, and they just, I don't know, they just know how to win, man. Like, they, you know, just stick around and know how to win. So I got to finish in 2nd. And then, of course, the Evil Empire on the top, the New York Yankees. I mean, there's so many reasons why I don't like the Yankees. I don't like the Yankees because of my Braves. I don't like the Yankees because of the Orioles in their division. They keep beating the Orioles all the time. But you gotta respect, like I said, I have respect for the organization, like them, the Pittsburgh Steelers, another team that gets into one of my team's way. You gotta respect these organizations, man. They just know how to win. Yankees. Aaron Judge looked good. I've seen some footage of him playing an intra game. DJ Mayu, they say he just joined the team. I heard that yesterday. He had the coronavirus, so he'll be back. They just deep. They also deep with talent as well, like all over the place. Giancarlo Stanley, they say he looks good. Now if he comes back, him and Judge, man, it's over, man. Like, can't pitch around him. Then they got Garrett Cole, which I mentioned in the off season. I think he's gonna be a contention for Cy Young. So now they got the pitcher Luis Severino. I think he should be back. So Yankees, man, you know. But with the short season, a lot of people say, well, maybe if they get off to a slow start, it's too late. But they too talented. I just don't see it. I think they just gonna, I don't want to say dominate because this division is tough, but they got to play the NL East as well. So like I said, they play the Nationals to start the season. So they're gonna have a little tough road, but I think the Yankees will prevail. Okay, let's go to the playoffs. 8 teams, like I said, makes it this year. I think the Blue Jays sneak in. I think the Blue Jays get that last 8th spot. I got the Oakland A's getting in at 7th. Got Cleveland all the way down to 6th, even though that could change. Like these next couple of teams, this could be in any order. Cleveland's 6th, Tampa 5th. I got Tampa just with a better record than Cleveland. Houston, like I said, they can win the division. Like I said, Cleveland as well, so they could be up there in the top 3. But the top 3, of course, the Angels winning the West. I got the Twins winning the Central, and I got the Yankees winning the East and having the best record in the American League. So that's my 8 playoff teams right there. But like I said, I think the division still will have a big impact on the seeding. So I got the Yankees finishing on top. Now, Cy Young and MVP. MVP, I'm just going to make it obvious because I don't want to strain my brain. Mike Trout, he's the best player in baseball. Played for the LA Angels. Easy, simple pick, safe pick, but he might hit 400 during this little bit of time. So I'm gonna give it to him, even though like I said, anybody can probably win this thing. Now, Cy Young, I'm sort of like, like I want to just go ahead and say Garrett Cole. That would be an easy pick too, but I just gotta feel it's gonna be somebody else, man. You know what? I'm going to stick with it. I'll just make it easy. I'll go with Garrett Cole. I think he's probably going undefeated. Because if he pitched it and the Yankees giving them runs support, he ain't gonna lose. So I'll go with those 2 guys, even though they obvious. Seem so obvious. Like I said, so anybody else can win it. But that's who I'm gonna go with there. So we've got through it. Like I said, I gotta do some more research. The season starts this Thursday, a doubleheader. I think it's Yankees Nationals. I think that's on ESPN, and Giants Dodgers. And then everybody else pretty much start Friday, July 24th. Like I said, it's gonna be a very exciting season. Just hopefully everybody gets be safe. We won't have too many positive COVID-19 we have tests for the players. Hopefully they all get through healthy. If they do, maybe we get through the season and have an exciting baseball season. So I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to Thursday. Definitely want to check that Yankees Nationals game out. Even though it's no fans, you know, we'll see how weird that might be as well. But I can't wait. I'm just glad sports on the roll back. We got basketball a week after, and I'm gonna give you a basketball preview. Of course, there's 22 teams in the bubble. Everything's going pretty well so far. You know, a couple of positive tests here and there, but they caught them while they was outside the bubble, so that's good news. Like Eric Bledsoe for the Milwaukee Bucks. I said Russell Westbrook earlier this week. So hopefully they enjoy their team soon. They might could join them before the season starts. So So we'll see how days go. Everybody's healthy, so it's gonna be an exciting basketball season as well. We'll break all that down next Friday. Like I said, I think I'm gonna do that video Friday because I had more time. So I had to try to squeeze it in Saturday before I work. So I had that up by Friday. We'll do, like I said, the the AFC East in football. We'll preview that division next Thursday. And thank you for joining me. Like I said, these predictions are all over the place. But I know if I'm wrong, somebody's gonna tell me I was wrong. But when I'm right, and I've been right pretty much the last few years about a lot of things, but you don't get credit for when you're right. You only get credit for when you're wrong. But I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm just excited that baseball is back. I'm excited that basketball is back. Just hope every day just goes well, and they don't have to shut it down again because of the coronavirus. And like I said, be safe. Like I said, people down south, y'all gotta start getting smarter, man. And I'm just glad I'm so glad where they take it not say they take it seriously down there in Florida and Texas and the other states that's spiked in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, you know, here in Maryland, man, they treat it mostly seriously, so I think that helped. When I go out, like I said, I don't go out too much, but when I do, you know, I wear my mask. Just do the simple stuff. Wear your mask. You know, if you carry around hand sanitizer, carry around. You know, don't try not to touch your face. You know, this little stuff. Just try to remember. You know, social distance as much as possible. I know that's hard. Like that's harder than, you know, just saying it. Especially with people used to being around people. Me, I'm good. I don't usually be around a lot of people, so that's not hurting me at all. Social distancing, but just, you know, just little things, just to, you know, like they say, it's the new norm. So everybody be safe. I just want to say that. And thank you for joining me today. All your baseball fans, I hope y'all glad baseball is back, because I am. Let's get this thing on the road starting Thursday. I'm Troy West, and thank you. This has been episode 125 of the Solid Sports Video Blog, Major League Baseball Preview Special. I'll see you Thursday as we look into the AFC East, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills, and Jets. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.